Hi there, this is Kat, and I'm the animal naturopath. So, quite a lot of people have been asking me about the animal communication aspect of my work. Excuse me, and there's a lot of kind of strange ideas around it and how it works and what happens. So, when you speak with an animal, you have to be more present with it than you would with a human because you have the ability to talk and share words, but actually we're not usually really very present to the people that we're talking to. So we might miss body language, or we might not really hear what they're saying, or we make assumptions about what they've said. We're not really fully present all the time. But with an animal, it's really important to slow yourself down and be present with it, because the communication can be more subtle. Sometimes it's really loud and like, hey, and you really can hear a voice as if there's someone talking to you. But most of the time you would probably see images or get feelings in your body, or just have a sense of knowing what they're trying to tell you. So body language is a really big part of how animals communicate. And when we can watch them and see the nuances of the changes, and we might get to realize that, oh, actually, they might be in pain, or they're standing in a different way, or they're looking at me differently. And so when we just drop down into our heart and we connect with them on a present one-to-one basis, it's quite incredible what comes through. Your mind can be flooded with thoughts, with feelings, with images, and sometimes you just feel like you're making it up, which obviously is very natural. You know, a lot of people would say to me, "Well, you have a very active imagination," but they're not things that you just make up. Why would you make them up? Why would you say, oh, this horse is telling me it's really lonely and look how sad it is, and you feel the depth of the sadness in your body, and why would you make that up? It's, you feel it, and it's learning to trust and to believe that what's been given to you is real. In the same way, you can maybe just look at a friend or someone you're really connected with, and you can look at them and think, they seem really down. Look how sad they are. What's going on there? What's going on with them? And you can tell just by looking or hearing their voice that something isn't right. So it's the same with the animal. I mean, you wouldn't second guess yourself when you had that thought about your friend and like, oh, I'm just making it up. You would go and check that they were okay. So why would you second guess what you were getting from from an animal? So yeah, it's really such a beautiful thing. It helps you to be in the present moment. It helps with your relationships with humans as well, because you're more aware, you notice more, you don't go with your own agenda so much. You're actually more able to receive and be open to hearing what others have to say. Because usually we're just like, oh, yeah, that happened to me, or oh, yeah, yeah, oh, I know, oh, yeah, or thinking of the next thing to say. But with an animal, you have to take yourself into their space. I find the one that's really powerful for me is becoming the animal. So it's like I'm projected into their body, and I feel what it feels like to be them. I'm in their shoes, I'm in their perspective. I feel my body as theirs, and it's so powerful. It's such a unusual experience if it's never happened to you before. But um, yeah, I've been a deer. I've felt what it's like to be inside a dog and cats, and just the sense of owning their body and being in their space and feeling what it feels like to walk on 4 legs, not that I am walking around on 4 legs, but I'm through our connection and the visualization, I'm experiencing them as if I am them. So, yeah. So, why don't you give it a try? Just slow yourself down. Go and if you've got a garden or you're walking in nature, just stop and listen to the birds. Look at them, watch them, look at the sheep in the fields, look at the cows. See if you can open your heart and send love to them and see if they turn and look and just see if you get a reaction or if you get feelings or be really interesting to see what happens. But it, excuse me, it does mean slowing down and being present, not being anxious, not trying to get them to tell you anything. Just, hey, how are you? Send love with an open heart and ask them how they are. Not come over here and see me or do this or you're not trying to get them to do anything. They're not there for you to boss around. They're there doing their own thing. And if you want to say hi and they want to reciprocate, then great. One of the things that people think as well is that if I'm if I'm with them and their animal, it's like, well, ask it, what's it saying? What's it saying? And sometimes they're not wanting to talk or they're busy. It's like with people, you can't just get them to talk to you because someone else wants them to. So yeah, and there's distractions and other things going on. So for me, usually the communication and a lot of my work is energetic and can be done remotely because I connect on a deeper level that way. I can see them without being in the excuse me, in the mix of whatever else would be going on if I was next to them. So, yeah, so like the Reiki and energy assessments, I can look from a distance, from Zoom, from a photo, and get a sense in a much more profound way than when I'm with them, because it just feels like, yeah, too much going on. If you're with a child and they're playing and they're busy and you're like, ah, la, la, and you're shouting, or come and do this, come and and they're just in their own world. They don't want to listen. They're not talking to you. They're doing their own thing. Animals are like that. And, they're not used to us talking to them either. So when suddenly you are talking to them telepathically, there's oh, this is new, that so there'll kind of be an acknowledgement in some way, but generally they're just left to their own devices and carry on doing what they're doing without being noticed, so yeah, maybe that's dispelled some myths. If there's anything anyone wants to ask me, or if you're interested in naturopathy for your pet, to take a holistic approach of their lifestyle, their views, anything that's going on for them, then I can offer suggestions and we can work together to create a holistic package that works for them and brings health and well-being into their life. So you can email me on cat@cathamilton.co.uk. Thanks for listening.